The celebration continues at the country club, with Naomi and Chelsea having both found out they don't carry the cancer gene. Bill urges Dani to take care of herself, as does a rather insincere-sounding Haley. Andre arrives just in time to make things, well, even more awkward, really. Bill beats a hasty retreat, with Haley chasing after him. Chelsea, who's bored with the whole scene, makes plans to connect with Madison. When the designer leaves her phone behind, Andre grabs it and chases after her. After accidentally spilling a drink on Bill, Haley goes to the bar for a rag. There, she crosses with Leslie, who's doing shots, and immediately starts poking at Mrs. Hamilton. Leslie's unhappy about the fact that Bill is drawing up Joey's legal documents for the clinic, and suggests that together, she and Haley could give her hubby a little hell. Commenting on Bill and Dani's closeness, Leslie suggests that whatever long game Haley is playing, she's running out of time. Shanice is in a bad mood until Kial, yes, he's finally back, puts in an appearance. She's downright amused when he asks for intel on a doc he's about to work with. Carlton! Oh, you two have something in common, she shares, but doesn't say exactly what. Of course, Nicole comes up as the two men are working together. Kial is amused, far more than Carlton, to reveal that he definitely knows Nicole, as he was her date to Winterfest. Carlton thanks Kial for standing in for him. At Uptown for a fun night, Chelsea and Madison run into Malik. The doctor is clearly shocked to learn that the guy is a drug dealer who provided party favors to Chelsea in the past. He even hands Chelsea a free sample of his goods. Chelsea suggests Madison take one of the pills, and you can just imagine how well that goes over. Chelsea wants to have fun, and Madison accuses her girlfriend of acting out and trying to live life to the fullest after receiving the test results. Chelsea pops a pill and walks away from Madison. Vanessa is taking a sexy selfie at the coffee shop when Leslie arrives, scaring the crap out of her. Leslie's not exactly thrilled to hear that Joey plans on dedicating the free clinic to Doug's memory. Quicker than you can say "over my dead body," she's confronting Joey about this latest turn. He, in turn, breaks out a flash drive and reveals that what's on it gives him power over her. He gives her the drive, saying it'll help her remember who is in control. As for Vanessa, she shares with Nicole that daughter Deanna is still not letting her in, nor will she come home to visit. Nicole promises the relationship will get stronger if Vanessa gives her space. Later, talk turns to Nicole's love life. Hearing that Kial was just a flirtation, and Carlton wants more than Nicole's willing to give right now, Vanessa offers up one of her escorts. Nicole's stunned to learn her pal is the new boss of Heart Attach, but is surprisingly non-judgmental. But later, Vanessa has to deal with the consequences of her new career when the husband of a client calls to rip her a new one. Naomi surprises her hubby by being so passionate they don't even make it to the bedroom. Better still, they immediately have a rematch. Bill rejects Haley's latest attempt to get him to St. Bart's. This leads to the current Mrs. Hamilton imagining the former Mrs. Hamilton taunting that she'll always come second. At Dani's place, Andre suggests that she join him on a business trip to New York City. But with Anita undergoing chemo, she wants to be there for her mom. Leslie looks ponderously at the drive Joey gave her, while he offers to help Vanessa handle the unhappy husband of her client. Vanessa, however, insists she can take care of the situation. The Thursday, January 22nd. Spoilers for Beyond the Gates. Focus on Dani as she opens up to Bill and then makes a surprising move. Meanwhile, Haley feels cornered and Vanessa is accosted. Dani is going through a trying time right now. Her mother has cancer, and she discovered that she carries the BRCA gene. Sure, she thinks both of her girls are in the clear, and she continues to be drawn to Bill during this crisis. And it doesn't help that Andre heads to New York for a photo shoot. While he's gone, she turns to her ex once again. Apparently, she opens up to Bill and then makes a surprising move. In BTG's video preview for this week, she and Bill kiss. Does this mean that she initiates it? Haley is super annoyed at her husband paying so much attention to Dani. Bill doesn't even hide it at this point. He can't stop being Dani's rock. But Haley has a deadly plan, and it's going at a snail's pace. She keeps having to force him into drinking her herbal tea concoction, even though he hates it. Leslie is also onto her con artist ways and continues to suggest they team up. But on Thursday, the weekly spoilers reveal that Haley's cornered. Is it Leslie again? Does her old friend Lynette come back around? Or maybe Thomas finally corners Haley to talk about overhearing her phone call to her cousin. Remember that phone call Vanessa recently fielded from that irate husband? He was angry that his wife was a client of Vanessa's escort service, Heart Attach. He sounded like a problem that wouldn't go away anytime soon. Maybe he is the one who suddenly accosts Vanessa. Will she be okay? And if it is this guy, he's making a big mistake. Little does he know who Vanessa's significant other is. He doesn't want to get on the bad side of Joey Armstrong. Joey and his police chief pal Elon are about to connect again. This time, Joey gives Elon some much-needed intel. Does it have anything to do with the information he collected to blackmail Leslie? And finally, two couples take the next step in their relationships by the end of the night. Any guesses? One of those couples better not be Bill and Dani. Just saying. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. In Thursday's episode, Dani opens up to Bill and then makes a surprising move. This, coupled with Haley feeling cornered, is going to be exciting. This trio is like a train wreck that we can't take our eyes off. It's volatile and is just waiting to explode. Leslie told Haley that they should team up as they both want Bill to suffer. Leslie, recognizing that Haley is playing a long game, was also very intuitive of her. Dani is the key to saving Bill. She may not love the man anymore, but she notices things, and she doesn't like Haley one bit, and that will be enough to see through Haley's lies when it counts. This won't be the first time that a AHC band has found out their wife is using a dating service, but it is the first time that this stroy has been the focus on BTG. The angry phone call was just the beginning. Lance is angry at April, the lady he thought he was calling, who runs Heart Attach. But it won't take long before he discovers the true identity and comes after Vanessa. In Thursday's episode, Vanessa is accosted. Dangerous, seeing as Joey is her man. In Thursday's episode, Joey gives Elon some much-needed intel. The USB drive that Joey gave to Leslie was an interesting development, and surely it has something that exposes her on the night that Laura was run off the road. Joey can't afford to tail chances with Leslie, as she's proven to be resourceful and cunning. Removing her off the board entirely would be a smart move. In Thursday's episode, two couples take the next step in their relationships by the end of the night. Bets are in, and I'm picking it to be Jessica and Tyrell and Ashley and Grayson. Unless, of course, I have missed another couple who haven't done the deed yet. Honorable mention, maybe it's time that Nicole bedded Carlton. That could be fun for Dr. Rollins to hear about. Make sure to check out The Scoop and the next week's sneak peek for a deeper look into what's to come this week and what you have to look forward to from your favorite characters and not-so-favorite characters in the DMV. Beyond the Gates spoilers indicate that the CBS soap has dropped its promo for the week of January 19th to 23, an add-on preview from what was released last week. There are some bombshells up ahead, so here's what fans can expect over the next 4 days. The Beyond the Gates preview video for the week of January 19th to 23 opens with Ted Richardson at the Fairmont Crest Country Club as he watches his ex-wife, Nicole Dupree, walk in with his partner, Dr. Carlton Fitzgerald. Ted says, "Nicole," then he awkwardly notes, "Carlton." Yikes, the bad blood between Ted and Carlton has not disappeared in the least. It also looks like Nicole and Carlton are still going strong, despite Dr. Kial Rollins re-entering the canvas this week. As the promo continues, Leslie Thomas can be heard saying, "Whatever long game you're playing, you're running out of time for that." It's unclear who she's talking to, but BTG spoilers note that she'll push Joey Armstrong's buttons, and he'll bite back, so she'd better watch her step. Meanwhile, Catherine "Cat" Richardson is with Ted at Orphe Jeans for the next scene. Cat viciously states, "You slept with a devious, psychotic beach and expect somehow to get another well-bred princess." Ted replies, "We have come to the end of apology season. Have I ever been anything less than a good father to you?" It looks like Ted is done with "I'm sorry," and also with Kat constantly harping about Eva Thomas. Over at Bill Hamilton's office, he and Dani Dupree are looking cozy in the preview clip as they share a tender moment. Bill tells Dani, "You burn bright, Dani. No power on this earth will ever dim that light." This is when Dani reaches in for a kiss, and Bill doesn't stop her. Tables are waiting to be turned on beyond the gates as some secrets may spill out in the open while associations are revisited. On one hand, Dani will find Bill's support comforting, while Bill may learn about Haley's conspiracy. On the other hand, Dani may rave about a possible new model for her company. Elsewhere, Nicole may reunite with the just-returned Dr. Kial. The past few weeks on Beyond the Gates presented the chaos surrounding the health crisis faced by the Dupree family. While Anita partied before getting ready for her chemotherapy for her aggressive breast cancer, her daughters, Nicole and Dani, got themselves tested for the BRCA gene. Unfortunately, Dani tested positive and found her whole family, former husband, Bill and current husband, Andre rushing to her side, following Dani's test. Her daughters, Naomi and Chelsea, got tested. While Chelsea tested negative, Naomi lied about her results to keep her family from worrying. Moreover, she spent loving moments with her husband. Elsewhere, the Joey Leslie interaction resulted in a clinic to honor Doug McBride. However, Joey had Bill draw up the legal papers, which displeased Leslie. Meanwhile, Kial returned to work with Carlton. Nicole remained confused between her two romantic interests with Kial's return. Dani was recently depressed with her BRCA gene marker test results. However, soon she was surrounded by loved ones including husband Andre, former husband Bill, mother Anita, sister Nicole, and others. Following Chelsea's negative test result and believing that Naomi also tested negative, Dani was relieved and back in her form. The upcoming episodes of Beyond the Gates will likely see Dani noticing Isaiah Hawthorne's charms at the same time as Pamela does. The two owners of the modeling agency will discuss the young man's looks and agree that he fits the bill for a promising male model. The two women may reach out to Isaiah and try to convince him to join their agency as the next big model. Whether Isaiah will agree to switch his career for the fashion world remains to be seen. Meanwhile, Dani will likely appreciate Bill's emotional support during the time she needed it the most. The coming weeks will likely see the former couple getting close over their recently paved camaraderie. At the same time, Dani rejects Andre's proposition of joining him on his trip to New York since she wants to stay beside Anita during the latter's treatment. Recently, Bill rushed to Dani's side after Chelsea informed him about her mother's BRCA test results. Since they knew each other's needs, they reunited over this misery, and Dani found Bill's presence comforting. This enraged their current spouses. While Andre warned Bill away from his wife, Haley tried to show fake sympathy towards Dani while holding on to her husband. The Beyond the Gates spoilers suggest that Bill will stand up against Haley's demands to manipulate her while placating her once in a while. On the other hand, after Dani's gratitude, Bill will likely promise to be by her side and also stay true to his word. He may also make a sudden move towards Dani. However, what he plans is as yet unknown. Elsewhere, Thomas, who had overheard Haley and Randy's conversation, may deem it right to spill all before his boss. If he informs Bill about Haley's sinister plan, Bill may be shocked to learn the long-term goal of his young wife. As such, Bill may ask Tomas to remain quiet about it, while the lawyer chalks up his own revenge plan. The upcoming storyline revolving around Bill and Haley's relationship will bring forth interesting twists and fireworks as each tries to outwit the other. Elsewhere, Bill will assure Joey about the legal papers for the clinic in Doug's honor. As fans saw on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, Dr. Kyle Rollins arrived in town to work with Carlton Fitzgerald. As Nicole met them, Kial revealed that he had been Nicole's date for the Winterfest. However, Carlton remained silent about his current status with Nicole. As viewers know, Nicole and Carlton are dating with no serious commitment. The coming weeks on Beyond the Gates will see Kial being thrown together with Nicole more often. Nicole may consider moving her relationship with Kyle from flirtations to dating in the upcoming episodes. As she informed Vanessa about Carlton being demanding in their relationship, Nicole may find Kial more relaxed and liberating. As mentioned before, Naomi and Chelsea got their BRCA gene marker tests done, and Chelsea received a negative result. Naomi claimed to Dani that her result was all right. However, viewers saw her behavior getting out of character as she turned edgy. In the upcoming episodes, Naomi, who is possibly lying about her BRCA results, will try to keep her secret close to her chest. However, her behavior may be a giveaway for people who know her well. That includes her friend Ashley. Incidentally, Ashley, who is dating Grayson, may have a discussion about Naomi's test results. Keeping their HIPAA norms in mind, the two, nurse and lab technician, will likely keep silent but let some information slip. Whether Ashley chooses to pull up her friend if she learns about Naomi's test results remains to be seen. Stay tuned to Beyond the Gates to catch the emotional drama waiting to erupt on the soap's storyline as Bill learns about a conspiracy and Dani returns to her normal vivacious self. Here's what went down Tuesday, January 20th, 296, on Beyond the Gates. When Vanessa handled a husband hot about heart attach, the Hawthorns got a living room and Madison was not happy about Chelsea being on the pill. On Beyond the Gates, Nicole ran into Andre at the food court and let him know that Naomi had tested negative for the BRCA gene variant. Hearing that Nicole was looking for Vanessa, Andre joked that Nicole had been stood up, to which she conceded that she'd recently had to scramble for a date. Nicole was coy when Andre wanted details. Vanessa was taking cleavage-filled selfies when Leslie happened by, startling her. Getting onto the subject of the clinic, Vanessa expressed her happiness over the facility being named in memory of Doug. This was news to Leslie, who made a beeline to the casino and remembered Marcel's warning about crossing Joey. Armstrong came in and put his foot down when Leslie applied one of her nicknames to Vanessa. Leslie backtracked but said the one name she wasn't going to be flexible about was hers, which was going to be emblazoned on My Clinic. Joey thought otherwise and said that the inclusion of Doug's name was a done deal. When Leslie was told that Bill had drawn up a contract for her to sign to that effect, she rebuked Joey for working with Satan's cousin and refused to endorse the document. Joey produced a flash drive which he called his ace in the hole. After showing Leslie its contents, she scowled that his info wasn't going to get in her way. "I may be down, but I'm never out," Leslie declared, and Joey tossed the flash drive to her to let her know who was holding the cards. Nicole and Vanessa finally met up, and they discussed Chelsea and Naomi's negative test results, then the difficulties that Vanessa's daughter Deanna was still having with Doug's death. Vanessa lamented that Deanna was continuing to take a hard line about not coming home to visit her. Nicole opined that the sight of the house where Deanna had lived with Doug might be too triggering. After Vanessa sighed that she had offered to sell their home, which both her kids had objected to, she moved the topic to the double date she hoped to set up with her, Joey, Nicole, and Carlton. Vanessa then commented that perhaps Nicole would like to bring someone other than Carlton. Nicole acknowledged that Kial had been her date for Winterfest, but labeled him a fun distraction. As for Carlton, Nicole agreed with Vanessa that he was smitten and loyal, but she feared that he wanted something more serious than she was ready for. Vanessa took the moment to hand Nicole a heart-attached business card and suggest that there were plenty of no-strings options there for Nicole to choose from. Nicole knew that Vanessa frequented the escort service, but was surprised she was functioning as a spokesperson for it, until Vanessa revealed that she was now managing it. Vanessa bragged that business had doubled since she'd taken over, but Nicole worried about her friend landing in legal trouble for her involvement. Nicole listened as Vanessa assured her that heart attach dealt in dates, not sex, and besides, she knew a customer who was a judge if the need arose. Vanessa paid Joey a visit. He was hot from her selfies, and the two almost made love, but mentioned that they'd each seen Leslie killed the mood, Mrs. McBride then took a call from Lance, the husband of one of her customers, Lolly, who was furious that Vanessa was setting his wife up with man whores. Vanessa felt that this was an issue for Lance and Lolly to work out for themselves, but Lance threatened to cause problems for Vanessa if she didn't cut Lolly off. Joey saw how unsettled Vanessa was after she hung up and offered to handle Lance, but Vanessa stipulated that she was running heart attach, and therefore she would see to the matter herself. At Garland Memorial, both Kial and Shanice were on tense phone calls, after which they briefly commiserated. Kial asked Shanice if she had seen Nicole that day, then decided he wanted some intel on Carlton, with whom he was soon to have a consultation. Shanice was very interested to hear about the time Kial had spent with Nicole. But when Carlton arrived for his meeting with the orthopedic surgeon, Shanice muttered to herself that things were about to get awkward. Later, Nicole entered, and Carlton introduced her to Kial, who immediately pointed out that Nicole had been his date for Winterfest. Carlton casually thanked Kial for being his stand-in. Kial smirked that it hadn't exactly been a hardship. An amused Nicole replied that it certainly hadn't been. The Hamiltons, Hawthorns, and Richardsons all toasted Naomi and Chelsea at the country club, paying tribute to the sisters' negative test results. Haley soon offered to take Bill home and make him a nice big cup of tea with her secret ingredient, but, to her dismay, Bill wanted to stick around for the girls. Then Bill approached Dani and promised to be there for her as she navigated carrying the BRCA gene mutation and the careful monitoring of her health. Andre joined it down with the party and made a show of fussing over Dani in front of Bill, who bristled as Haley watched. Bill suddenly decided he needed to make a phone call, and Haley abruptly grabbed her purse and followed him out. "Damn, was it my cologne?" Andre chuckled, with Dani voting to douse him in it if it prompted similar exits. Jacob was busy recounting a case he was working on, but quickly realized that neither Naomi nor Chelsea was listening. Chelsea fumbled that she had heard Jacob saying many words, then admitted that she was finding it hard to celebrate when Dani was still facing so many unknowns. At the same time, Chelsea was becoming bored at the family gathering. Disenchanted that Dani and Haley hadn't come to blows, Chelsea used the excuse of Madison's text to excuse herself. Chelsea found Madison at the hospital, gushing that she felt so alive after learning she hadn't inherited the BRCA gene variant. Madison happily accompanied Chelsea to Uptown, but her reverie was short-lived when Chelsea encountered Malik, a former acquaintance of hers. Given Madison's curiosity, Malik grinned that he wasn't a model like Chelsea had been. They knew each other because Chelsea had been one of his best customers. Malik handed the women a free sample and moved on. Madison was horrified to learn that Chelsea was no stranger to party drugs. Chelsea pooh-poohed that the pills were nothing dangerous and called Madison out for still being in doctor mode when the neurologist listed the adverse effects such substances could have on the brain. After Madison shared her observation that Chelsea was acting out because she had tested negative and therefore wanted to live life freely, Chelsea rebelliously took a pill and scoffed when Madison said that being spared the BRCA mutation was not a free pass to be reckless. "Later, baby," Chelsea said flippantly when Madison chose not to join her on the dance floor. Back at the country club, Leslie, still pissed off over Joey stealing her thunder, gulped down 2 drinks in succession. She saw a gloomy Haley sitting with Bill, Dani, and Andre. When Haley drew near to the bar, Leslie declared that Haley was clearly having trouble keeping Bully Bill interested. Leslie went over how Bill had first threatened to steal her baby, then tried to keep her from building her mansion. Now Bill was interfering with her clinic. Haley didn't want to hear any of it, but Leslie asserted that Bill was making Haley's life miserable as well. So how about they team up to introduce some misery into Bill's life? Besides, Leslie concluded, whatever long game Haley was playing, it definitely seemed to come with a ticking clock. Haley returned to Bill and asked him about trying again for a vacation home in St. Bart's, since the owners of the one they thought they'd bought had changed their minds. Bill said there was too much work for him to look into that, after which Haley had a vision of Dani taunting her. "Kiss your $10 million payoff goodbye," Fantasy Dani crowed. "He'll always choose me." Afterwards, Haley and Leslie locked eyes. Leslie toasted, as if to acknowledge Haley's unhappiness with Bill. Meanwhile, Andre and Dani had gone home, where Andre proposed that Dani fly with him to New York, where they could take in the sights, and each other in between his commissioned photo shoots. Dani wanted to, but declined because she wanted to be close to home in case Vernon needed her while dealing with Anita's cancer. Andre could barely hide his disappointment. Naomi decided she wanted to ditch the family celebration for a private party with Jacob, which the detective was down for. the Hawthorns got to their place and didn't make it past their living room before making love, a point Jacob made afterwards. When Jacob challenged Naomi to a round 2, Naomi whipped open her robe and flashed him, starting the amorousness anew. Beyond the Gates, Daily YAP. For Tuesday, January 20th. Welcome to the Beyond the Gates Daily YAP for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. Seriously? Are we going to go there again? This world-renowned psychiatrist is just a walking contradiction. We saw her allow a situation between Ted and Carlton almost explode into blows at the nurses' station in Garland Memorial Hospital. And now what, round 2? Carlton and Kial were talking about working together when Nicole arrived at the desk, and Carlton began by saying, "Here is my lovely little adventuress," which of course took Kial aback a little. This whole scene was unnecessary and gratuitous. Nicole played both sides right in front of both of them. How is this not going to create issues? I know this is a soap, but surely Nicole can't be about to do it all over again? Why can't she just be straight with both of them? These are not the actions of a world-renowned psychiatrist at all. She acknowledges Carlton by saying, "Nice to see you, Dr. Fitzgerald." And when Kial mentions that their date at Winterfest wasn't a hardship, Nicole replies with a smile, "It was not a hardship at all." She clearly has no idea how men work. What am I saying? We have watched her for nearly a year now. She has zero idea how men work. Worst character on the show. End of. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. The January 20th, 2026 episode of Beyond the Gates centers on relief, celebration, and rising unease. The Hamilton family gathers at the club to celebrate Chelsea and Naomi's clear genetic test results. Champagne flows as fears about the future finally ease. Dani confirms the good news and shares quiet moments of gratitude. Bill balances pride in his daughters with lingering tension between Dani and Haley. Haley struggles to hide her jealousy as old wounds resurface. Elsewhere, personal choices begin to complicate the joyful mood. Chelsea grows restless and searches for excitement beyond the celebration. Naomi focuses on reassurance and public affection with Jacob. Andre's unexpected moves spark awkward encounters. Away from the club, Nicole and Vanessa confront family strain and risky business decisions. Joey's failed power play against Leslie deepens their rivalry. By the end of the episode, happiness feels fragile, with new conflicts already threatening the calm. The January 20th, 2026 episode of Beyond the Gates opens at the club with a celebratory mood. Jacob raises a toast to Chelsea and Naomi following their clear genetic test results. Relief and happiness ripple through the group as the women acknowledge beating the odds together. Dani confirms to Nicole that both daughters are completely in the clear. She suggests ordering more champagne before heading down to the lobby. Chelsea privately tells Naomi how grateful she feels that they can finally exhale. Haley tries to convince Bill to leave the club and go home with her. She playfully suggests making him tea filled with love and comfort. Bill is amused but prefers to stay and celebrate with the family. Haley notices Bill watching Dani and grows increasingly irritated. Bill approaches Dani and they both appreciate that both daughters are in good health. Bill encourages Dani to take care of herself and assures her that he will be there for her. Haley soon appears and links arms with Bill. Across the room, Jacob talks endlessly about work while Chelsea and Naomi lose interest. Chelsea openly admits she is bored and hopes Dani and Haley will clash. When nothing dramatic happens, Chelsea becomes disappointed. She suggests moving the party to a more exciting location. Naomi declines, choosing to stay at the club. Chelsea decides to leave on her own, craving something more lively. Naomi later opens up to Jacob about feeling calmer now that her future feels clearer. Jacob reassures her that he will always check in on her. Wanting to keep the celebration going, Naomi initiates a very public kiss. She urges Jacob to leave with her, ending the night early. Andre notices Naomi's phone and rushes after the couple. Bill rejoins Dani just as Andre arrives, creating visible tension. Andre's presence irritates Bill and clearly amuses Haley. Bill excuses himself to make a phone call. Haley follows closely, exchanging annoyed looks with Andre. Dani and Andre share a laugh over the awkward interaction. Meanwhile, Chelsea announces she is heading to the hospital to surprise Madison. Earlier, Nicole ran into Andre at the coffee shop before meeting Vanessa. Vanessa is startled by Leslie, who reacts poorly to the news about the clinic's naming. Nicole and Vanessa discuss Deanna's refusal to visit home and Nicole's uncertainty about Carlton. Vanessa shocks Nicole by revealing she now runs an escort service. At the gambling pit, Joey attempts to blackmail Leslie using a thumb drive. Leslie dismisses the threat and leaves Joey shaken. Later, Leslie bonds with Haley over their shared resentment toward Bill. At the hospital, Chelsea shares her results with Madison. The celebration sours when Chelsea accepts pills from Malik. Madison grows alarmed and questions Chelsea's judgment. Chelsea dismisses the concern, prioritizing reckless freedom over caution. The Wednesday, January 21st, 2026 episode of Beyond the Gates delivers emotionally charged developments. As several characters find themselves at crossroads shaped by secrecy, conflict, and unresolved family tensions. At the center of the drama is Naomi, who chooses to conceal the truth about her BRCA test results from her loved ones, quietly carrying a life-altering reality while her family already grapples with health concerns and strained relationships. Elsewhere, tensions rise within the Dupree family as Kat and Ted clash once again over Eva, with forgiveness proving elusive despite repeated attempts at reconciliation. Their disagreement underscores the deep emotional wounds that remain far from healed. Meanwhile, Jacob faces mounting friction on the professional front as he clashes with Marcel and Elon, signaling growing divisions within law enforcement and raising questions about loyalty, ethics, and hidden agendas. Naomi keeps her medical reality private. She tells her family she does not carry the BRCA gene variant. Her behavior suggests otherwise. This decision comes as her family is already dealing with serious health concerns. Anita has begun chemotherapy, and the household is focused on supporting her. Naomi's silence creates emotional distance at a time when unity matters. Her choice also affects her marriage to Jacob, which is already strained. Kat and Ted find themselves in direct conflict over Eva. Eva attempts to reach out and make amends. Kat refuses to engage or forgive. She remains firm in her boundaries. Ted, however, wants his daughters to coexist peacefully. He grows frustrated with Kat's resistance. Their argument highlights unresolved emotional wounds. Kat does not deny Eva's connection to Ted, but she rejects any deeper relationship. Ted makes it clear that he believes the time for apologies has passed. The disagreement exposes a widening gap between father and daughter. Neither appears ready to compromise, leaving their relationship tense and unsettled. Jacob butts heads with Marcel and Elon during the episode. The conflict stems from professional disagreements. Their opposing views create friction within their working dynamic. Jacob questions their methods and priorities. Marcel and Elon push back against his stance. Joey Armstrong becomes part of the broader tension. The situation reflects deeper divisions within the group. Personal alliances and ethical lines appear strained. Jacob's refusal to align with their approach places him at odds with both men. The confrontation suggests growing instability among the law enforcement circle. The episode focuses on sharp exchanges and unresolved conflict rather than resolution. Tyrell surprises Martin and Smitty with his stance on a long-standing family tradition. He makes it clear that he does not want to participate in cotillion. His decision challenges expectations. Jessica's influence plays a role in his thinking. She views the tradition as outdated. Despite her reservations, she still plans to participate. She wants Tyrell to escort her. This detail catches Martin and Smitty off guard. The moment highlights generational differences and changing values. Tyrell's choice forces his parents to reassess their assumptions. Kial Rollins resurfaces after being absent for weeks. His return raises questions about his next steps. Vanessa approaches him with a proposition. Her intentions are not immediately clear. The interaction hints at business and personal implications. Kial's past connection to Nicole adds another layer to the moment. Meanwhile, Nicole has been spending time with Carlton. Vanessa's move places Kial at an unexpected crossroads. The episode does not reveal the full scope of her proposal. Instead, it sets up intrigue around motive and opportunity. Their conversation signals potential developments tied to both professional ventures and personal entanglements. Beyond the Gates came up during James Reynolds' chat on the Soapy podcast. He spoke about their upcoming show, BTG, and a few other things as well. Brandon went down memory lane to the time when he was doing Days of Our Lives and Generations. Keep scrolling for more. James Reynolds joined Soapy this week, and the host, Rebecca Budig and Greg Ricart, asked him about his long career. He played Abe Carver for years. Moreover, he is now the longest-running male actor on the show. James joined Generations in 1991. It was right after he departed the storyline of Salem PD on Days. He was Henry Marshall, a character whom he portrayed as a powerful business figure. He had replaced Torian Black in the role. He was so excited about it because the show was totally new at that time. It was the first soap that was built around a Black American family from the beginning. He liked that he was a part of something that made history. Moreover, he felt lucky when he was asked to join it. James also mentioned BTG in his speech. It has been the first daytime soap with a majority of the cast being African Americans since Generations. On the other hand, Reynolds shares that he is glad that the soap gives room to the stories of the Black upper and middle class. It's because these are the things that people don't regularly get to see. Quite a lot of other shows either ignore it or blend it with something else. But BTG is truthful about it, remarked Reynolds. Besides, he admired the actors' appearance and presence, referring to them as very pretty. He thinks that the soaps have developed in the way of depicting the Black community. He pointed out that some people still grumble about the presence of people of color. This means the job is still not yet done. And he wants the industry to have stronger roles for all people of color. Reynolds also appreciated working with Jackie Harry on Days of Our Lives. He also spoke well of her during the interview. For more Beyond the Gates spoilers and updates, keep following Soap Opera Daily. We pick up where we left off on Friday, with Jacob toasting at the club to Chelsea and Naomi. Dani wants to touch base with Nicole, to let her know both Chelsea and Naomi are 100% in the clear. She suggests they order more champagne before heading to the lobby. Chelsea tells Naomi just how happy she is they both beat the odds. Haley wants to take Bill home and serve him a great big cup of tea with her special ingredient, love. Bill is tickled by his wife, but wants to stick around the club to celebrate with the girls. She sees him staring at Dani and heaves a frustrated sigh. Bill moves over to Dani, and they both admit how thankful they are their babies are healthy and safe. Bill wants Dani to stay focused on her own health and promises to do what he can to support her. Just then, Haley locks Bill's arm and says she feels the same, despite all they've been through. Jacob is going on about work stories, as Chelsea and Naomi can't be bothered to listen. Chelsea notes how bored she is and hopes her mother and Haley will liven things up by going at it. Chelsea is disappointed and wants to find another location that's a little more popping. She asks Naomi if she wants to join, but the answer is no. Naomi tells Jacob she feels better now that she knows her test results and how life will be moving forward. Jacob gets it, but will never stop checking in on her. Later, Naomi wants to keep the party going and engages her husband in a very public kiss. She tells her mother and Andre they need to go and head off. Andre sees Naomi's phone and runs off to try and catch the disappearing duo. Just then, Bill joins Dani, and both Andre and Haley shoot each other annoyed looks. Andre arrives on the scene and immediately annoys Bill and thrills Haley. Bill quickly heads to the lobby to make a call with Haley, following close behind. Both Andre and Dani are tickled by the turn of events. Chelsea hits up her mother and Dani and says she is headed over to the hospital to surprise Madison with the good news. Nicole runs into Andre at the coffee shop. Andre is on the way to the club, but Nicole is going to let the Hamiltons have their celebration and meet up with Vanessa. A little later, Vanessa is taking selfies when Leslie scares the fool out of her. They chat a bit when Vanessa mentions Joey's amazing gesture with the clinic. Leslie doesn't get it and simply says the free clinic will be helping folks for years to come. Vanessa specifically mentions naming it after Doug, which leaves Leslie less than thrilled. Nicole and Vanessa connect and discuss Deanna, who still doesn't want to come home to visit her mother. Nicole tries to explain Deanna's perspective and says Vanessa is doing everything she can to support her daughter. Nicole and Vanessa shift to discussing their upcoming double date. Vanessa ribs her friend about Carlton, who Nicole says is still her +1. Vanessa notes how smitten and loyal Carlton seems to be, but Nicole says she knows he wants more, which gives her pause. With that, Vanessa hands her friend a brothel card saying there are more than enough men who would be willing to show her some strings-free attention. Nicole can't believe Vanessa is trying to get her to use the escort service of which Vanessa was once so fond. Vanessa updates her friend, and Nicole is astounded to learn her friend is now running the joint.